Today I'm playing Gran Turismo Sport. This is the first YouTube video I have with the full game. I've done a few beta videos before, but today I'm playing the full game. I've already played it a decent amount, but usually I like to play a little bit on my own, kind of think of some of what I have to say about it, because my opinion can change a lot, even in like the first 5 days of playing the game. And so I'll tell you a little bit of them. I'm probably not going to get into too much detail about what I think of the game, but right now it's going to be more about, well, there'll be some online racing, so that's what I'm mainly going to focus it on in sport mode right now. Well, I'll enter a race, but while I'm racing, I'll kind of talk to you about what I think of the game so far. And I actually disagree with what a lot of people have to say about some things. I'll explain that later. So let's see, we have N300 at Kyoto Driving Park. I don't think I've really driven around this track very much. And it starts in about 14 minutes. What cars do I have for N300? Right now I'm in a LaFerrari. The only car I have is a Mitsubishi Lancer. Maybe I'll do Group 4 instead. And plus, oh, I can't enter this. Do I have a group? Maybe I don't have. I do have a Group 4 car. I don't know why I can't enter it. I guess I can give this a try. You know, before that, I know this might be getting a bit off topic, but since the only car I can race, or maybe I want to race my Subaru is what I like. My Subaru. I kind of want to race. Yeah, see, this is the Subaru I have. As you can see, I've painted it in the same colors as like the old Subaru rally cars were painted, with like the Subaru logo, with all the stars and the shooting stars. I tried to nail it. It's not 100%. I've looked at the real GCal, but I think I did alright with what I had. I'm sure there are people out there that can do way better, but considering it's not really my thing, I mean, I have done a few of them, as you can see, just for fun, but considering I don't really do it, you know, because I'm really good at it. I'm really not. I don't really do it that much, and I've never really played a game with a livery editor before this. So considering that, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, I like that one. That one came out alright. The Bilstein Shocks one came out alright as well. I did this with like the French flag colors. But I wonder if I can set this car up to be an N300. Wait, do I actually have... Wait a minute. That might be a one-make race. I think it might be just a one-make Mitsubishi, because this is also an N300 car as well. Oh, whatever, I'll just enter it. So, yeah, this is a one-make race. I don't know, I'll do the blue. Ooh, even get the tires up to racing hard, and the power is the same at 297. The weight is also the same as well, apparently. So overall, my impressions of the game so far. First, I obviously have to talk about the physics, because that's kind of, well, what defines these sort of racing games. Without a good physics model, you might as well throw it out. Well, I shouldn't say that, because some games are also fun. And from what I've heard about most reviews, including ones I really rely on, actually, and ones I really trust and respect, even they are saying that this game isn't very good in terms of the physics model. Actually, they're saying that it's not as good as like Assetto Corsa or Project Cars 2, and I have to strongly disagree. I mean, I don't think it's quite as detailed as either one of those games. Like, there are little details that are missing out, and you have to get kind of picky, but I think overall, the game actually feels really good. And you can get picky about individual cars and whatnot. But I think overall, this game actually is pretty good. I mean, I think it's just below Assetto Corsa and Project Cars 2. I think it's just that line below. Like, there are little details that are missing, but overall, I don't think it's much different. Well, actually, I shouldn't say it's much. I don't think it's that much less realistic, or... Yes, the force feedback is... I think the force feedback's, like, pretty much on par. I mean... See, if I cut that corner like that... The rumble strip feel is, I mean, on par. The force feedback, I think, is pretty good. Somebody compared it to driving on honey, and they said it was really bad and everything. I disagree. I feel the bumps in the road. I feel what the tires are doing. I don't... Well, I shouldn't say I feel every bump in the road, but you don't feel... Some bumps you don't feel in the road in real life either, because cars have suspension. I mean, they absorb bumps. On Assetto Corsa, if you turn all the effects off and the force feedback that I think kind of are fake, and even the CEO of the game said they're not 100% real, they're more there just for fun, like, you know, the road feel and the fake rumble strip feel. I'm not calling them, you know, those effects, or even without those on, the road feels about the same on this, actually. And I can feel the rumble strip feel really well with this, about the same as I do on Assetto Corsa. And the wheel, I mean, I can feel it when the front tires are losing traction. And I feel like, you know, if you overcrank the wheel, you will lose front-end traction and you will slow down. I mean, not in like a sudden way or anything, but you will. If I see I'm overcranking the wheel right there. I did scrub off a little bit of speed. Maybe not as much as I would in real life, but again, like, I think the overall physics engine is actually decently accurate. Like I said, it's not as detailed, I don't think, as Project Cars 2 or Assetto Corsa is, but considering this game, graphics-wise, I think looks better, and you have a livery editor, and you have this really cool online system, I think that makes it every bit as much fun, every bit as good as those games are, if not better. Not to mention that the physics engine is pretty good. Like, I get somebody also said that it was really floaty. I'm not getting that at all. I'm actually getting very good feel through the force feedback. I mean, again, you can get picky about little details about, like, if you cut the curb too much, it doesn't... I don't think it's quite as punishing as, like, Assetto Corsa is, but... I think overall, they've got the... You have to get really picky in order to make it seem less realistic. I don't think it is that much. And I guess, I don't even know if I like the terms realistic and unrealistic. Believable, I think, is a better term. I find this decently believable. Like, I'm driving this car on the track, I find this decently believable. I feel what's going on through the wheel. I don't think there's horrible force feedback. I think it's pretty good. Is it as good as Assetto Corsa? That's debatable. I don't think it's quite as good. But it does certainly tell me what's going on the road. Like, the rumble strip feels amazing, I think. I also like the fact that the racing line is really important for making you go fast. Like, literally, I thought I had a really fast lap one time in a McLaren 650S, and then I kind of really focused on trying to improve my racing line on a certain racetrack. I took, like, no joke, 6 seconds off my lap time just, you know, really getting those down. And when I felt like I was already pushing it as hard as I could. I mean, it does a really good job of showing the differences between somebody who's good at driving and somebody who's incredible at driving. I'm not saying, again, it's not perfect. Like, in some cars, I don't feel like the weight transfer is 100% accurate. Like, the weight transfer onto the rear of the car doesn't feel 100% accurate with some cars. I'm not saying all cars. Some cars have that problem. And you have to turn a little bit of traction control on, because they're practically undrivable if you don't have it. But, again, overall, the physics engine, I think, is pretty solid. So let's move on to some other things about the game that I like. Well, I like the career mode. I think that actually is the best part of it. The sport mode, specifically, in the way it categorizes you against people. I've used the closed beta version, and I can say I've had the most good races on that. I've had more good races on that game than I have on pretty much any other racing game on console combined. I mean, maybe aside from Assetto Corsa, I've had a few good races on that too, but the online system's not very good on that either. The online runs pretty well, but there's not too much, like, I don't know. I've had more good races on GT Sport, like, by quite a big margin. I've had some really close races, especially on the beta. I haven't played this too much online yet. I mean, maybe about a day. I wanted to get sort of into the career first. Change the view here. The cockpit view is decent in this. I wish you could get rid of the hands and wheel. That is one drawback. Because that can be a little bit distracting at times. If they got rid of that, this game would be pretty good. That was a bit slower that lap. And I also like the driving marathon thing. It really encourages you. You want to save the replay? Yeah, I might, just so I can get some cool photos. Wow, I'm actually pretty slow. Wow. Yeah. I'm only like a second slower, but that's on a pretty short track, so I gotta really improve on my driving here. I'll use this camera again. So, like I said, the line will really improve your speed. So I gotta try some different things now. This is where I start trying to adapt my driving style, trying to get the max from the car. So I think I'm gonna put the brake bias a little bit more towards the front so I can get some more weight transfer on the front of the car. Maybe I can get a bit more bite on the front end. Use the whole racetrack there and start turning it in at that point. Just don't even lift off through here. Come on. Oh, maybe I needed to a little bit. Turn it in about that point. Now you want to kind of hold it in here. Come on, I can do this. Could use a little bit more track going out of the corner there. Hey, 45.7, I'm getting there. A lot better on Assetto Corsa, I think, still. I still find Assetto Corsa just a little bit more believable, but this is still a good game, and so is Project Cars 2. There's the whole track through here. Don't lift, don't lift. Sometimes I think I talk too much while I'm driving, but at the same time it does help me kind of think out loud. Alright, now just whole track here. There we go. It's a little bit slower. Oh well. To try again. That probably could have been a lot better. Yeah, I like the force feedback in the game. I think people are criticizing it way too much. I think one tip for people who think the game feels way too heavy, turn the initial force down to like 2 or 1. Take it very low. Because I thought the steering was way too heavy. If you don't, you might actually get a little bit more feedback feel if you do that. It'll define some of the other parts, I think, a little bit better. I'm going slower now. It's that last corner that makes the biggest difference. You gotta really tuck it in, going out of that one corner so you have a better line. Alright, I'll live with 45.7. I'm sure anybody can easily beat that, but no, I don't really care. But the matchmaking system is really good in this game. I just think people really bashed the physics engine in this game way too much. I mean, if you look at it compared to GT6, it's so much better. The force feedback, it feels like the car's actually connected to the road, and people are saying you don't feel the tires. I think you can really feel what the tires are doing. I can feel when the tires have exceeded their front grip limits. The rears are a little trickier, but I think it's still pretty good. I think it has a pretty solid handling model. So there's only 12 people now that are... I don't know, I'll go out. So if anybody has any comments or any good questions, I'll try to answer them. I gotta say though, with this Mitsubishi, you can really, the way the all-wheel drive feels, the car just kind of rotates, and it doesn't really rotate, but it has a lot of grip. More throttle I give it, it actually pulls the front end in. That was a lap record for me. Probably didn't need to give it any break there. So we have a rolling start here. turn the volume down a little bit. Ooh, felt the front end kind of lose a little bit of traction there. I got the inside. Whoa, I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was either. Gave him more room than I probably needed to. It's always better safe than sorry. Gonna go wide through there. That was a decent pass, but he couldn't quite make it stick there. Kind of saw that coming. This is what I mean. This is some good racing. And I haven't even done that many races yet. I could get too much going in, and he always gets me going out of the corner. Gotta remember that for next time around. That wasn't a very good move. Sorry, I didn't mean to do some contact there. I tried to give room. That's not good. Really? I was in the lead, too. Oh well. I guess it is what it is, you know. Won't make a fuss about it. It's kind of disappointing, though, because I did have the lead on that one. It just disconnected me. And I didn't do anything dirty, either. Like, I was trying to be as... everyone else was trying to run into me, but... Sometimes, I mean, in real life, you have to deal with people like that, too. That's just the reality of things. Even if it has a perfect matchmaking system, you still have to deal with other people's crap sometimes. Like, people just trying to dive bomb you completely, like that one guy. It wasn't a dirty move, but it just didn't really... It was hard for him to make it work. But there was some cool... Actually, I will admit that there was some good racing there as well. Kind of a little disappointed it didn't let me. Oh wait, there's going to be an entry that opens with this one as well, in 45 seconds. I might do this because I like Group 4. It's around Dragon Trail. I'm not a big fan of the track. Which actually, going to one of the drawbacks of the game, at least what I think, the biggest drawback of the whole game, is the track list. Sure, there's like, it might seem like there's quite a few, but then, you know, you break it down, you have a few rally courses, you know, and then it comes down like 2/3 of the tracks are like fantasy tracks. I have a 458 Italia. I don't know, I might take that one. Did that look cool, TRD. livery. I don't know. I could drive the Porsche. That's another good car as well. Geez, I don't know which one to pick. I'll pick the Porsche. But anyway, what I was saying about the tracks. The track list isn't that big. Basically, when it comes down to it, there's 7 real-world locations, which is actually less than Assetto Corsa had. I mean, I didn't think that was really possible, to be honest. Assetto Corsa felt like it had no tracks at all. It didn't feel like it had anywhere near enough tracks. Like, compared to Project Cars 2, Project Cars 2 has by far the best track list, although I will admit, the quality of some of the tracks are kind of... Well, some of them are really good, and then some of them are kind of iffy. But on Gran Turismo Sport, all the real-world tracks, at least the ones I've driven, I haven't driven Nürburgring yet. Well, I have driven it on the beta version, so I have driven pretty much all the tracks. If you include all the ones I've driven on the beta version, they all feel pretty good. From Project Cars 2, some of them feel alright. Alright, you know, it has quite a few fantasy tracks. You know, that I don't mind as much as the fact that they actually lock pretty much all of the tracks in arcade mode until you have a certain level. Like, that, I'm sorry, that is completely ridiculous and unacceptable. Why? Like, when I play in arcade mode, I want to have all the tracks there. Why do we need to lock them? I mean, the cars, I actually like the fact that you have to buy cars in the game. But locking tracks, I'm sorry, there's no... none of the previous games did that. Why do we need to do that in this game? But anyway, you go through the levels pretty quickly. I mean, at least if you do the circus experience, you get gold in all of those, you should unlock the track in arcade mode. Like I did it in Interlagos, which was a fun track, by the way. I thought it was a really fun track. I've never driven it on any other racing game before until this. I did an circuit experience, got all gold. That was a fun track, I thought. It's not unlocked, and I have to still wait for quite a while before I unlock that in arcade mode. Why? I have no idea why they did that. It's like it's arcade mode. I should have all the tracks. This Porsche feels much more up on its toes than that Mitsubishi did. Oh, I might use the cockpit view for this car. The volume up a little bit. Listen to that flat 6. Or is it a V6 in this? I think it might be a V6. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I always forget. I think the Cayman has a V6. Or at least the older Cayman, which is what this GT4 Club Sport is based on. The newer ones all have 4 cylinders. Which sound like Subaru engines. And for a Porsche, that's kind of a bit sad. But at the same time, the engine on paper is a better engine. And it makes really good torque. And I've heard all sorts of good things about it, but at the same time, it just doesn't have the cool sound that the 6-cylinder engine does. Ooh. So I wonder if they make a new GT4 Club Sport, if that'll have the Boxer 4 engine. Yes, I think it's a Boxer. That the other one, that the new Cayman 718 or whatever it's called, or no, that's the Boxster. Sorry. Whatever the new Cayman has. But this car is amazing, and it sounds cool. I've actually heard these cars in real life. I was at VIR one time. Great. Oops. But I heard these cars. They sound amazing. They just rev and rev and rev. At least it really sounds like they do. I mean, it doesn't even actually rev until 8,000, but it really, it's not about how high it actually revs. It's about how high it sounds like it revs. It sounds like it revs really high. It's just a brilliant noise. And the car handles nicely too on this game. It doesn't have that weird weight transfer thing I was talking about that some of the cars do have on this game, where there's just not enough weight on the rear of the car sometimes, and the car just slides at unexpected times. Even if I'm going up a hill. This doesn't have any of those issues. And I mean, the audio is okay. I mean, I guess it's not the most important aspect. I don't know. I think some of the sounds are pretty good. Like the rumble strip sounds are really good, and the chassis flex sound is amazing, better than anything on console. With the chassis flex sounds, they're really cool. The engine sounds are about average, I think. Like, you know, maybe not quite as good as AC or Project Cars 2. I see it messing that corner up. I keep missing the apex. But this is such a fun car to drive. And I actually signed a deal with Porsche for the car company I want to represent. Because you can pick a certain car company to race for. I wanted to race for Porsche. I don't know. It's new to the series. This company is new to the series. Actually, Porsche's has been featured in a lot more racing games recently, like in Project Cars 2, on Assetto Corsa. They used to just be on Need for Speed, which is kind of sad. I mean, it's finally nice to see a lot of very realistic representations of Porsche on these racing games. Like Assetto Corsa was like the first one, at least I played. I've driven this car on Assetto Corsa quite a lot too, and I thought it was a pretty fun car to drive on Assetto. I'd say it feels different on this. But I think it actually feels it feels like a lot of fun on this game. It feels very believable to how it would really handle in real life. It feels very light. It feels kind of up on its toes. It feels agile. Come on. Oh, I missed the apex again. The other thing that makes it feels kind of weird is the fact the tire squeal noise is coming long before you hit the limits of grip. Which, you know, I don't know. Again, that's another picky detail, but... Alright, enough about the actual game. I just want to get on with driving here. It's such a fun car to drive. Even... if it might be a little bit different from Assetto Corsa. I don't know, actually, I think it actually feels pretty similar. It's been a while since I've driven this car on AC. So what else do I like about Assetto, or about, sorry, I almost called it Assetto Corsa, about Gran Turismo Sport? Well, I like the livery editor. I think it's kind of cool. It's actually the first game I've played, or the first game I've actually bought that has a livery editor. Because I only have a PlayStation 4, and it means there's basically no other racing games. I mean, Drive Club sort of had something, but it wasn't really. Nothing like this. Ooh, that rumble strip a little too hard. You see, there are a lot of realistic elements to this game. I'm not even going to get into that anymore. I've already talked quite a lot about that. But I really think this game's pretty solid. I could even go to argue it's the best Gran Turismo game ever. Maybe even the best racing game of this year. Just because it's got this, it implements this cool online system. It's definitely its shining point. And there's been nothing like this on console. It is completely revolutionary to console, at least. It's very similar to what's on iRacing. I mean, from what people have said, I can't really say anything because I've never really played iRacing. Well, I played it once, but that's beside the point. I don't have a PC. I never really played too many PC simulators. But from what I've heard, it's very similar to that kind of thing. And I've got to say, it works very well. Add that onto the fact that it is a fun game to drive with most cars. It's just such a good recipe. And you have the livery editor, and you have the photo mode, which, by the way, is amazing. The GT6's was pretty impressive. This is even better. And, you know, for a lot of people who are interested in racing, they're like, okay, whatever, you know, it's a photo mode. And they say that up until the point where they actually use it, and they're all like, this is really cool. Because it is. The amount of stuff you can do with the photo mode in this is, it's a lot. You can do as much as you can in most editing programs when you edit photos. There's no real point in putting it in, like, iPhoto or whatnot, because it pretty much has all of those effects that you'd get in iPhoto. And some. And then there's all the escapes, which are cool. It's just a very well-rounded racing game. It does pretty much everything. I mean, I know the car list is very lacking right now. But you think about it, Project Cars 2's car list isn't that much bigger, neither is Assetto Corsa's. Actually, Assetto Corsa probably has less cars than this game. I know it has a lot less cars than GT6 did, but I think they're definitely favoring quality over quantity here. The track list, on the other hand, again, like I said, I think it needs to be a bit bigger. But in the end, it still makes a fun game. And I also heard, I've read some stuff that says, it talks about Kaz announcing that there might actually be quite a few updates with the cars. He's actually going to try to get the car list up to 500 cars. Now, I'm not sure. That'd be really cool if that happened. Again, I'm not really sure if that's actually going to happen, but I have heard stuff about that. That would be really cool. And I also heard there's just going to be free DLC, which pretty much roasts everything else you get on PS4 in that department, because everything else, I don't think there is any other, I don't know if there's any other game on PS4 that offers free DLC. I mean, I'm sure there is, but there's no other racing game that does. And I think that's amazing. And I think that's how it should be. There shouldn't be paid DLC. I think that's just ridiculous. Paid DLC, it's like you already buy the game. I just want to, you know, we should keep it at that. And I know it's just a good way to milk extra money out of it. And it gets annoying after a while. With Assetto Corsa, you know, there's a few packs. They're not super expensive. It's okay. You know, there's also the Season Pass, which bought quite a few of those. But then with, like, Project Cars, it was kind of getting annoying. I keep downshifting it in first gear. I'm gradually getting faster. You gotta time that corner just right. That chicane is tough. I've crashed there a bunch of times, especially when playing the beta. Well, see if I can get one more lap out of this. Actually, no, I won't. I feel like a 150.8 is what I was able to get from this car. That was a stock setup. I didn't even mess with the brake bias. I'll save the replay. I don't want to save too many of them because that wastes a bunch of storage, but... Well, I didn't think it did too bad until I looked at everybody else's time. Wow. They're also using a bunch of different cars, too. I'm the only one using the Cayman GT4. Well, and again, I'm also using a stock setup, so... And I'm not... Well, I am actually, like, over 2 seconds slower. Yeah. Than some of the fastest guys, but... Well, at least some of the fastest friends. What are the top 10? 146. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they must really be having. They must really have some good setups on these things. But get this, none of them are Porsches. I'm surprised. It feels like a good car to me. I like the way it drives and everything. I probably just need to get the setup more dialed in. I'm sure there's ways to do that. And it felt like I was pushing the car to its 100%. It was really easy to get every single little tenth out of it. I felt like I was. Well, hopefully we'll have a good race, because it's usually in the race where I usually do better. I'm not usually great at qualifying anyway. Maybe it won't disconnect me this race either. It was kind of a shame because I was having such a good race. I was having a lot of fun, and it just was like, no, you're disconnected. I'm like, what? And I was winning too, like by a decent lead. But I had to really work for it. People weren't just handing it to me, which is kind of good. I'll probably be qualifying close to the back here. But because this car is such a great car to drive, I think if I can use consistency, because it's not in any race, any race car driver will tell you the fastest person to qualify is usually not the person who wins. Because it's not the fastest lap that really matters. Well, I did get second place, but this is in like some of the lower groups. But as I was saying, it's not usually, it's consistency that wins the race. If I can consistently pull off those times. Because some people will be able to pull out faster laps, but then they can only do that lap like once or twice, and they can't really, if you can do like, let's say a 148 around this track consistently versus somebody who can do a 146 one lap and then do 150s the next however many laps. The person who's going to do consistent 148s is going to do much better. Anybody in racing will tell you that. Even in sim racing. I just want to see how they do here. To be fair, I'm also kind of talking and driving, which, you know, I can do to a decent extent, but if I'm probably silent, I'm probably better focused. But, you know, it's too much fun to talk and drive. It's a lot more fun than just driving. And, you know, in the end, this is all just about having fun. You know, sometimes I could care less if I really win or not. It's about just having a good race and, you know, giving it your best. And the graphics are amazing. It's the best looking game on console. And I'm not even using a PS4 Pro. I'm just using a normal PS4. and it just looks amazing. Like, it doesn't look anywhere near as jaggedy or inconsistent as Project Cars 2 does. And I mean, Project Cars 2 is a good-looking game from some angles, but it's just sometimes you get into some of those graphical glitches. Alright. I better just stop talking here, or keep talking to a minimum, and start racing. He broke late. Made it into that corner too. Ooh, it bit me a little bit there. Just keep it flat, keep it flat. Ooh. Probably a little too much gas under the braking there. The reflections off the cars look amazing though, and the lighting. Could have done that corner a lot better. Brakes really late, I'm noticing. It's going to be hard to get him under the braking. Maybe I can get him going out of corners, though. He seems to be pretty good on the exits, too, though. Keeping up with them, though, somehow. Ooh, this is my chance. Maybe his V8 power. Maybe he can get past me, I don't know. Brake a little late here, brake late, brake late. Ooh. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Ooh, I could have done that a lot better. Wait, why do I have my hazards on? I think I accidentally put my hazards on. I was trying to look behind. Now the guy behind me thinks I'm drunk or something. My hazards on, I'm going like, going like 100 miles an hour. Cut it about there. Alright. Ooh. Gone on it just a little too soon there. Don't want to hit the cone because I could get lifted up a little bit there. See if I can just pull off consistent 151s. I'd like to go a little faster because he's keeping pace here, but get a little bit of a drift going off there, but it's kind of a, I can almost call it rotation. It's kind of like a four-wheel drift, sort of. It feels like it. And that's if I keep the car decently stable. It's a sort of fun drift, though, you know? It's not really slowing me down too much. Ooh, I'm already 1.1 seconds faster. Ooh, understeer. It's got understeer through that corner. Forget you saw that. That was a bad mistake. I overcooked it real bad through there. This car, you can't be too anxious with the power, but you know, if you can still push hard. I could get this car under a 150, I think. Oh, I didn't see him there. Now I do. Good pass. This is what I'm talking about. You see, you have good racing. I was completely ignoring him. Short shifted over here because I do get a lot of oversteer. Oh, he's getting some good acceleration off the corner. He's got a really good exit there. Every bit of that track. Ooh, he did the same thing I did through there. Alright, see if I can get around him on the outside. Ooh, it's a bad place. It's a bad position to be in. Brake late. And just hope. That I don't get spat out too wide. I pulled it off though. Sometimes if you're really good, you can back off and get underneath of them because they'll go wide if they take the inner line through the corner. That was a proper race, man. It still is. Ooh, just take it easy this last corner. Pulled away from him there a little bit. I could get this thing under a 150. I won. But that was still a really good race. Like, it could have been anybody's race, so that was good. Even in the lowest class ranking, you still got some really clean drivers who really are, you know, good at driving. That's what I like, you know. I wouldn't have even cared if I would have had a close second, you know. I could have even done with that. That was just, it was a fun race. Maybe I'll level up now. But geez, once I get this car dialed in, it should be really quick. I haven't done anything to the setup yet. I didn't even mess with the brake bias, which I probably need to do. If I would have messed with the brake bias, I think I could get it. I could probably get it into like a low 49, maybe even a high 48. I could get it under a 150 how it is now, if I got the perfect lap. Ooh, I got a car now. My sportsmanship ranking is went up, but my driver level still hasn't. And he still had the fastest lap, which is good too. So I want a car. Pains me, because I always look at all the cars and I already know what they are, knowing a decent amount about cars, and I'm like, oh, I don't want that one. Oh, there's the Bugatti Veyron. I really, really don't want that. As in, when I say I don't want it, I basically want it, and I didn't get it. But I did get a Mitsubishi Lancer, so you know what? Alright. Wouldn't have been my first choice, but if I always look at the car I want, I won't get it. So I'll always just say I don't want that car, even when I want the car, and then sometimes I get it. It feels like luck's kind of against me whenever I look at those, because I've gotten so many Vision cars and I really can't stand a lot of them. I mean, I don't have anything against vision cars, but I just kind of like to have some of the real cars. You know, they should almost be put into a separate category. Which there's Group X, but some of them are Group 1, which I don't know. I feel like it kind of ruins the whole. Oh well. Let me look at. Ooh, that looks cool. I might give that a like. I'm just gonna look at some different liveries here. See how many some of mine have gotten. I got one like on that. It was me drifting a Hellcat. Brand new. That was another Huracan. I've never driven my Lambo Huracan. I got a like on that too. Got 2 on that. Is a. My Subaru livery. See, I think this is another cool aspect of it. You get to share all this stuff, and then you can like some of it. Sort of like an automotive Facebook, kind of. Well, I don't actually have Facebook, so I can't really. I don't 100% know that, but I've seen other people use Facebook, and it's. I guess it's not quite like that, but. You just post random stuff on this, and you take random screenshots and just post things. They have some random like history that lines up with currently the automotive history. That's kind of weird, I think, but you know, it's different. I should say. I shouldn't say it's bad or good. It's just different. Well, let's see. I might go back to sport mode here and enter another race. I could enter this next race. I think I will. I'm gonna try. Maybe I should enter the Toyota, because I think I actually did get some pretty good times of this Toyota. I'll try a Toyota. The Toyota. And it has my cool TRD decal on it as well. Which, well, that was a pretty quick detail, so, you know. This is cool as well, you can hear the engine rev. Right. Listen to that. I have ABS on weak. The braking wasn't 100%, I might actually turn this. See, I had this on 2 and this on 4. I turned this way down just simply because it felt real stiff and, you know, there wasn't that much feedback actually going through the wheel. And I think the feedback felt a little bit more defined when I turned it down. And I turned this, well, I actually turned that one notch down as well. Hello, does that actually go to 0? I want to check. No, it goes down to 1 as the lowest setting. I'll turn it on 2 then. I had it on 3, I think, for once, and it was just a little too much even. Alright, I'm not really going to get to qualify here, but maybe I'll get a race. And then after this, yeah, after this race, I might actually save the replay and then get some photos and whatnot. I'll show you the photo mode a little bit, because I thought it was really, really cool. Like, I already showed you some of the photos I took through them, but I'll actually show you, like, how I kind of do them and whatnot. And I know anyone who's really interested in the racing aspect of the game is probably going to say, well, it's just a, you know, what the heck. But I think it is really cool. And I think a lot of people think it's really cool as well. Even I really like GT6s as well, but this is that much better, the photo mode on this. You can do that much more with it. And the Scapes is also pretty cool. I didn't find that quite as cool as taking race photos. I felt the environments kind of stood out among the cars, like the environments, because they were basically just real pictures kind of made into like a 3D world. At least that's what it seems like, because they basically are real. I mean, and it made the cars kind of look a little bit more fake. I shouldn't say it had that problem with all the Scape photos, but sometimes I just felt like that a bit. I mean, that's why I thought the race photos were kind of more interesting, but and then somehow I have the fastest time. How? And I kind of want to, like, move up as well. From the E ranking. Well, I've only done 2 races, but both of them. I actually did 3 races. But I'm actually gonna look at my car settings. Like how it says out and in now, that's different. They still don't have tire pressure adjustments, which is very important, but I guess in this game it probably isn't because they don't have tire temps. I might try taking the downforce down on this car a bit. I might try keeping it. Actually, I might try taking it up in the front. I've heard that's what a lot of people will do with these setups. I don't know. Let's try taking it down a little bit in the back and taking it up a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy with it yet. 160. I'll just keep it like that. I don't know. I don't want to go too crazy with everything, but this car sounds properly cool as well. Doesn't sound as good as that Porsche, but it still sounds pretty good, actually. Sounds accurate. Whatever, fine. I'm just gonna bump you if you're gonna be a complete annoying person. I'm just gonna, yeah. You know what? You deserved it, dude. He kept blocking me. I was gonna pass him on one side, kicked over, went to go the other side, went over. Like, dude, what the heck? So, again, like I said, you have to deal with people like this in real life, but if you're racing, if you're new to racing, one thing is you don't do that. You don't just completely block somebody from passing you. If I go one side, stick to one side. You know, you can make one move and then stick with that. Don't move back. I understand some people are still kind of new to this, but it's kind of interesting livery. On -2, maybe it usually works if I have a little bit more brake bias towards the front. Usually I can get a little bit more lap times out. I can get a little bit more bite on the front tires. I'm kind of winged it with the setup too, so I don't know how well it's really going to be. But it seems like it's actually a bit better than the Porsche. I really seem like I'm running away with it in this car. I think the car's a little bit better than the Porsche was. I think it's faster than the Porsche. It feels like it is. And sometimes I can be completely wrong about this whole thing and it'll feel faster and it really isn't. But I really think it is. It feels more stable, the car feels more controllable than the Porsche. The Porsche was a good car, but I think this is better. And obviously I'm not going to know until the next lap because that was just my outing lap. Ooh, that was late. That was too late. There's a bug flying around me too, it doesn't help. Like I said, there's a bug around my face and it was annoying. There's a mosquito. Ooh, that was late. Like here, I can just keep the pedal completely flat to the floor with no struggle. Porsche seemed like it was a little bit more itching to slide. And through here I felt like I get the car a little bit closer to that apex. That could be because I have the brake bias set a little bit differently. I don't feel real itchy right now. It's not good when you're in a race. Ooh, I messed that corner up. Deep breath, deal with what I have to. Sometimes dealing with pain is something you have to do in racing. Especially right now because I'm leading. Ooh, that was a slide. See, it's really easy to catch slides. People saying it wasn't, the drifting physics weren't that great. Again, I disagree. This is not going to be a very good lap, but I still think it's faster than that Porsche. Yeah, I think it is. I'm looking at my times here. Ooh, I messed that up. Yeah, this isn't going to be as fast. But I also made a lot of mistakes, too. Like, a lot. Still a 150.9. Yeah, that is a faster car. Because I made a crap load of mistakes that lap. Don't use that rumble strip under the braking. Ooh, felt a lot of lost grip in the front there. Ooh, it's real fighty out of that corner. Like, I can sort of feel when the car's going to lose it, but the car likes to slide through there a lot. I've noticed. I wasn't even focusing on how fast I've been going in a straight line. 13 seconds ahead. Where I think the apex is. Oh. Alright, well that wasn't perfect. Ooh, car's getting really antsy in the rear there. But I can still drive it. That was going a little... Yeah, 150.4. It's the fastest lap I've done. Usually I'm the faster in qualifying, so... Slower? I thought that was actually a pretty good sector. I hope this levels me up a decent amount, because right now I'm not getting really much competition. Ooh, messed that up, exit up a little. Costing time. See how much speed I can carry through here, that's about what that's what it's about. I think this lap's gonna be a little slower. Unless I get this corner right. I don't know, maybe I did. Not enough though. I got another, I lost to the 10th off there. This guy could get this car under a 150, I think. Geez, I really did win this one by quite a lot. Don't mean to sound boastful here, but 20 seconds! Oh my gosh. Yeah, I hope I level up a little bit, because, yeah, that was kind of... There's only like 12 people in this group anyway. Oh, we got an achievement. That's the other cool thing that's cool, these achievements that you get. Ooh, I got a lot too. Got a lot of money for that one. Ooh, I'm up to 18. I think I might get a new track. Maybe I get Interlagos. I don't know, I think I'm probably done with the online races for tonight, but... Yeah, I got Interlagos. You know what, I'm actually gonna take some laps around the track. What car should I do it in, though? Actually, no, I have the perfect car. We'll do time trial. I just want to do a time trial to finish this off. And I've gotten the hang of Interlagos a decent amount from the circuit experience. See, the only tracks I have to unlock now are the Nürburgring tracks, which at level 20, I'll unlock all of them. I don't understand why you have to unlock them, though, in the first place. That was just, I mean, I know it doesn't take that long, it's not a super big deal, but I feel like it's kind of just wrong to, like, you know, say, okay, it's arcade mode, and you have a few tracks. It's like the track list was already pretty scarce, as you can see here. There's not that many tracks. And, like, the fact that, like, the only tracks that were unlocked were like basically these tracks up here, and I think maybe these two. That's I don't know. It's just like, oh yeah. I don't know. It's just kind of, what the heck, you know. If you're gonna lock the tracks, at least allow them to be unlocked through the circuit experience thing, which I thought was kind of cool actually. I thought that was actually a very nice way to learn the racetracks. You know, you split up into different sectors. You even have tutorial videos. See, whenever I hop into a new track on Assetto Corsa, hop onto a new track, it's like I'm like completely clueless. I'll drive through a corner way too fast or way too slow, and I'll be like, I think I can definitely go a lot faster through here, but how exactly, I'm not 100% sure. And I think the circuit experience is very useful for that sort of thing. I don't know, we'll do that. We also have a few arcade cars here you could use, but I feel like I want to use the Ferrari for this specific drive. Although I've already driven the LaFerrari. Could use a Lamborghini Huracan. I don't know, maybe I'll use that next. I don't know. This LaFerrari is a cool looking car as well. And I thought the car drove really nicely. I thought it was the most accurate representation of the LaFerrari, actually. Like on Assetto Corsa, it's way too fast in a straight line. It feels like it has like 1,200 horsepower. Same with on Project Cars too. It feels like it felt like it had 1,200 horsepower because it would just shoot forward like a missile. And I know the car's fast in real life, but not that fast. Like I was looking at like it was a good 10 miles an hour faster than the real car, going down the straightaway at the Algarve track in Portugal, in Portimao. This car is just insane though. And I kind of just bought it, you know, for fun. I spent a lot of credits on it, but, you know, I was like, okay, you know, this is just going to be a kind of fun car. I don't think I'm really going to use it for much, but... Ooh. Well, that didn't end well. First corner I drive around. Spinning my tires in third gear and fourth gear. Whew. That was way too fast as well. 192, no. I think I need to stop about 180. Again, wheel spin in fourth gear. That's insane. Still way too late. I'm used to the GT3 cars where you can brake them so much later. But the speeds you're hitting are just so quick in this car. You brake before you can even see the corner most of the time. I always think this corner is going to be a chicane for some reason. However much power you think this car has, multiply it by 2. At 1,000, you might be about halfway there. But I messed that corner up. There's a crackle from the exhaust there. It's almost as if I can't go anywhere near the throttle in this car until... $184. I think I can pull this off. Wow, that was still amazingly late. You have to look at your speed in these cars, like literally to determine when to brake. That's still too late. I broke long before that cone was even there. I don't get the depth perception you do in real life either. just want to get one decent lap here without any late braking mistakes. I'm using right foot braking here, using the same foot to use the brake. Because usually if I'm just kind of out for driving for fun, I will normally do that. If you try to go anywhere near the throttle, this car will kill you. This is what I mean. Especially going up this hill, this car literally will spin the tires in 4th gear. I can't wait for the McLaren P1 to be in this game, because I like that car even better than this thing. This thing's amazing, though. The front end just gets really light when you're really on the gas. Ooh. See, this corner always catches me off guard in this car, because I have to brake long before the actual brake markers. Oh, that wasn't very... it resets you. That's weird. Alright. Alright, I'm just going to drive with 2 feet now. Get a properly hot lap. See if I can gather anything decent here. A little more confidence now. This accelerates so quickly. Brake about 184. Oof. Hit a little bit of grass there. Stop the slidey here. I want to get around. I want to get around the track sometime. Okay. This thing's an insane monster. Brake about now. It's so dang fast. Your braking points are just amazingly far away. Like I was practicing this track in a GT3 car. There's some oversteer there. It's hard not to get any at all, especially with the traction control off. If you want no oversteer, turn the traction control on it. That's pretty much what you can expect from the car in real life. But it doesn't feel like, you know, like the... High speeds, the car actually has some decent grip, though. For having sports hardened tires. I'm only on 3/4 throttle going up this hill because I'm just going to spin it. If I don't, try one more lap out of the thing. Alright, wasn't perfect there. It's just where it requires so much you focus. Because this car goes way faster than I can think. Way faster. Like I'm braking right now. I'm braking way before I even see the corner. Whoa! Get it right into that apex. This was a fun turn. Really gotta brake it like about now. Hit this apex. And get up. Whoa! I was way too early in the throttle. The car likes it early. Even if I try to be gentle with the throttle, you still get oversteer. Yeah, if I brake before the start-finish, if I brake after the start-finish, I mean, what basically happens is I brake too late. So that was a 144.2. Not even close to what a GT3 car is capable of, but I could take a photo. I'll show you the photo mode here. By the way, this car looks amazing. And look, the graphics are just, the lighting and everything just looks beautiful. I like it better than Project Cars 2 in terms of the graphics. And then that's not even, like, including the photo mode, which, oh. It's just awesome. You just gotta really respect it, man. This is just... And I can pan the camera. See, I have to hold in the R2 button and then use the left stick to pan in any direction. And then so I'll use these third lines. You kind of want the third line to be measured about with that area of the car. And then I'll rotate it a little bit, maybe even readjust the field of view in my camera. And I can always pan it again. So I like it about there. I always look at that, the bottom third line there. You kind of want to use rule of thirds. And then I'll use a little bit, I usually take up the exposure a little bit. Yeah, one thing I forgot to do is, I gotta hold that in again. I'm gonna put it into focus here. And then sometimes, a lot of times, when you look, as you can see, this background right here doesn't look super detailed. That is the environment behind me. So what I'll do is I'll turn the aperture way down, and see, that looks a lot better. But then, of course, again, I gotta refocus it once I readjust the aperture. I usually use mode 2. It depends. I'll take some. I just want to take some. I'll put the resolution. Sorry, on medium, and then take a few pictures. And then kind of determine from there. Then there's effects. Let's see. I like the temperature adjustment can be kind of cool sometimes. So. Literally, haha, cool. Bad pun. All right. Well, I can also make it warmer. Yeah, I actually like that better. I think the warmer actually looks cooler. The glare, that's another thing that is a cool kind of thing. Can make. So I'll try it on the panning shot 2 first. See, I think that looks pretty cool. No, I don't want to save it because that was just kind of a mock-up of what I actually wanted to do. So I'll put it on high resolution. No, actually, we'll put it on medium first. And then try it on 3. See if I like it any better. It's hard to choose between 3 and 4. I don't know. I think I'll keep it on that, actually. I like that. Now we'll put it on high resolution, take that picture. Just should look a bit better. I like it. Don't think it looks that much different, but I like it. Save this photo. Yes, I'll share it. What's the other thing that's cool? Ferrari. I'll call it the Ferrari. The Ferrari. I don't know. It has to have some sort of text in there. The Ferrari. The Ferrari. Which is kind of a sort of ongoing joke, because La Ferrari means the Ferrari, so it's the Ferrari, the Ferrari. If you didn't get the joke. that I think originated on Top Gear. Whenever yeah, on Top Gear they were joking about that. But anyway, this game is just, overall, I gotta say it's amazing. See, that's what the cockpit view looks like, and that's why I can't drive it with that view. It's just too much. Alright. So, we might watch a little bit of... We'll watch replay of the first lap. And you can even look at the active aerodynamics working at the rear. That grass came up a little quicker than I thought it was gonna. You get that car slide. You can rotate that car real nicely going through there. It's very up on its toes. It feels like the Ferrari 458 does in this game, with all the numbers just a bit higher. And you can spin the tires that much easier on it. But it's surprisingly controllable. Like, you can tell what the car's doing. Like, I didn't find it completely undrivable. It was just so fast, it was hard for me to really react as quick as this car can actually go. Actually, we'll watch both laps. I think this looks pretty cool. Maybe I can get rid of this. Maybe not. And that car's just flying down that straightaway too. But it feels accurate enough, you know, it doesn't feel like... And it sounds pretty good too, I think. I feel like it takes a little too long to shift. I feel like because it's a dual clutch, it's real, like, you know... It's a little sluggish on the shifts, I think, compared to the real car. But everything else seems pretty accurate. I think I need to change the title as video, actually, because I just realized I named it Online Racing. This isn't Online Racing. Although, technically the whole game's online, so... It's another criticism I heard, but... I don't know, I haven't had any problems with it yet. Probably because I haven't played it for a few days. Alright. I'm gonna have to conclude here pretty soon. So, well, when this video is done, about... Just listen to that LaFerrari though, man. That is a cool sound. I massively overcooked it going out of that corner. I got on the power too soon. That was a real slidey corner. Like, the car actually really wanted to slide through there. Alright. And that's where I go off the track. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll make sure to upload a bunch more of these Gran Turismo Sport videos. Maybe I might even have some Project Cars 2 career mode videos. I haven't done the career mode yet on Project Cars 2. And I've been kind of wanting to do it, but I was thinking I should broadcast it from the start and just keep on going from there. But at the same time, I'll also upload a lot more of these videos. I'll probably do a lot less Assetto Corsa. than I have been, just because I already have a lot of Assetto Corsa videos, and I pretty much already, I mean, with this and between this and Project Cars 2, there's just so much more you can do on these than you can on Assetto. And don't get me wrong, I still think Assetto Corsa is great. The physics model, if I wanted to, you know, go on a track day, and I wanted to get the hang of a certain track in a certain car, and really practice it, that's the best game. But for everything else, this or Project Cars 2 are better, I think. So, with that said, I think that's a good note to stop on. So, thanks.